first. Like Sarah Chapman, who ran around with Tupac in the 90s and is now the mother of one of Biggie's children. Pac's claims aged like fine wine when recently the internet figured out that Biggie's most successful hit, Juicy, was actually stolen by a Mississippi-based artist called Notorious B.I.G., who released a song called Big Daddy a year before Juicy that sounds exactly the same. Is it a coincidence that Notorious B.I.G. and Notorious B.I.G. are very similar, and this song is called Big Daddy, and Biggie started going by Big Papa? But many people believe this was the mastermind of Diddy, as he was a music industry expert who knew how to scout talent and assess a hit song before anyone else heard it. They believe Puffy instructed his artists to steal from Notorious B.I.G., and Biggie trusted his boss and mentor. Pac and Big's rivalry began as a music-based competition. Who had more music sales, who had better fashion, media representation, and cultural influence. But due to gangster rap creeping into the mainstream and the two being surrounded by legitimate gangsters, tensions escalated to life-threatening conflict. In November 1994, Tupac was on his way to record some music at Quad Studios in New York City. Coincidentally, Biggie was there recording with Jimmy Puffy, which is a cool fact that Big knows his whole childhood. Puffy was there too, since Big was his artist, and anything that Big tried to record, he's technically owned by the Bad Boy label. Allegedly, a man by the name of Jimmy Henchman, who is now serving life in prison, was planning a robbery on Tupac since Pac owed him some money. Many speculate that Jimmy told Puffy what was about to happen, but Puffy did not try to stop it. When Pac was outside the studio, he looked up and realized rapper Lil Cease, who is best friends with Biggie, was yelling at him from above. He was excited to see him because they were friends. He told him he was going to go downstairs and meet him in the lobby. Pac went to the lobby downstairs when some men attempted to rob him at gunpoint, which quickly led to conflict and Pac being shot 5 times.
In the middle of that fight, Shakur was gunned down, shot 5 times in what he claimed was a murder attempt, and police called a robbery.
As the police did their investigation, you can see Diddy looking around standing in the area with his head down. Keep in mind that after Tupac was shot, he got in the elevator and went upstairs where dozens of Bad Boy affiliates were located. Pac was interviewed by Bad Magazine, telling them that he was shot and the energy of the people around him while he was bleeding out. Because Andre Harrell was there, Puffy was there, Biggie, nobody approached me. I noticed that nobody would look at me. Andre Harrell wouldn't look at me. I had been going to dinner with him the last few days. Puffy was standing back too. I knew Puffy. He knew how much stuff I had done for Biggie before he came out. Based on Tupac's words here, fans in the media believe that he was hinting that Biggie and Puffy might be behind the attack, which bothered Big and Puff since publicly at this point they were still friends.
And the rumors are spreading.
Oh, there it is.
That's crazy. That's ridiculous. And I also understand that he was being shot 5 times.
To make things worse, a few months later, Pac was found guilty of sexual assault and would end up serving 9 months in prison. This gave him a ton of time.
There's no way I can pop a chug jug, but fuck it, I'll keep it. It's 15 seconds while midair, so I'll drop like fucking 3/4 in altitude. Yeah, that's just not possible. I could pop it right before.
But technically, it was recorded before Pac got shot, but it was marketed and released afterwards. Regardless, the media developed a narrative that Big and Puffy set up the shooting and now released a news record bragging about their hit. And Puff's full intentions were to stir up drama, as can be confirmed by the former president of Bad Boy Records.
Biggie might not have thought that when he wrote the lyrics that was going to be used for that, but the way it was marketed by the company and released in the succession of things that were going on that we were dealing with, on all the levels that we were dealing, that record did what it was supposed to do. And that's a perfect example of how my former business partner works and thinks.
Pac was sitting in jail already thinking that they set him up, and the release of this song was all the proof he needed. But this wasn't the only shooting that Puffy was involved in. It's also important to know that Tupac signed to Death Row Records while in prison after the label owner Suge Knight promised to use his money to get Puffy released. As they were in the process of getting Pac out, Suge Knight and his best friend
Should circle from there.
Jake threatened Platinum nightclub in Atlanta. Suge confronted Puffy at the club and was choking him. Puffy's bodyguard, Jones, steps in to defend him, and then things got out of hand. Next thing you know, shots are being fired, and Suge's friend Big Jake was shot and killed. Whether or not Wolf shot Jake has never been confirmed, but Suge was holding Puffy responsible for the attack, which was announced in automatic papers and to the executives. Quick sidebar, recently fans have noticed that Puffy's firstborn biological son Justin Combs looks a lot like Wolf. How does your son look more like your best friend than you? Anyways, in October 19... How does your son look more like your best friend?
No, that's with this, maybe, but if you look at the mother,
Friend than you. Anyways, in October 1995, Tupac got out of prison.
yeah, but the word of the mother,
War.
mother started good, and I was dropping out.
Pac got out and immediately started taunting and scheming on Bad Boy Records as much as possible. In the days after his release from prison, he jumped into the studio to record his next album, All Eyes on Me, and he talked about the anticipated tracks.
Whoever Magic Rock wanted with me and Snoop, that's gonna be a home thing. Shorty wanted to do it bad, that's gonna be a big one. And Wonder Why They Call You Do It Today, that's gonna be a big one.
He mentions Faith, aka Faith Evans, who was married to Biggie for over a year at this point. Imagine your wife jumps in the studio with your biggest enemy 1 week after he gets out of jail. Pac was also seen with Faith Evans at Whitney Houston's album release party. The rumor is that Biggie cheated on Faith and that she was trying to get back at him by cheating on Pac. Pac also allegedly said that he cheated on her and messing around with her named Josh, who was a close friend of Biggie's party. Then Death Row Records had a Christmas party in 1995 where a close friend of Biggie Mark Anthony Bell was mercilessly beaten and forced to drink urine after refusing to give Suge Puffy's mother's address. Tupac and Death Row did not let off the gas. At the 1996 Soul Train Awards, Biggie won the award for Song of the Year, and Tupac won Best Rap Album of the Year. After Biggie got his award, he took some pictures backstage and then exited the venue because he had to go to the airport to catch a flight, and that's when Pac and Suge pulled up in a Hummer taunting him.
While we waiting for the party for that, Suge and Tupac pulled up in the house, and Tupac was really loud, like, yeah, first, you know, about himself, Suge came from the other side, so I was trying to actually walk up to Suge. He just want to talk to him. Want to talk, but of course everybody got it. You know, George yelling and arguing, 4 minutes, but police and everybody got it. Trying to stop him.
Despite Biggie's gangster lyrics, he was really a chill dude who didn't want to be with Pac. Remember, he looked up to him. He always thought they were friends, but as we are speculating, he seemed to be a pawn in a much bigger operation.
He knows you sent somebody to shoot that person. Is that true or false? Do you think he was just hyping a record, or you have no idea?
Tupac was a man on fire, a man who he believes was wrongfully convicted of a crime he didn't commit, was constantly being slandered by the media, and now feels being disrespected by his biggest enemies, on top of being surrounded by real gangsters. He released a music video alongside Snoop Dogg called Two of America's Most Wanted, which featured a skit mocking Biggie Puff.
Please don't kill me. It was Buck's idea. I was special, man. Please don't take me out the game.
Interesting that Tupac himself instructed the Biggie actor in the 90s to say it was Puff's idea, as if it were true. Then Pac released one of the most abrasive and iconic diss tracks of all time, Hit 'Em Up. He starts off the song claiming he had sex with Biggie's wife, and then directly called Biggie the Indian Mafia all business, along with various other threats. Pressure was on Bad Boy. Pac was not going to stop, and Puffy couldn't take the heat. Biggie's bodyguard, Gene Deal, recalls when Puff reached his tipping point.
He said, I'm a businessman. I'm about making money, but something gotta change. I don't give a fuck. If Pac gotta die, Big gotta die, or Suge Knight go to jail. Something's gotta change.
Gene was taken back. He wondered if Puff realized that he just said he didn't care if his own artist died. At the same time, he still wanted to play gangster games. As we all know, these gangster games only led to two outcomes, death or jail, and Tupac wouldn't meet his fate on September 15th, 1996. Pac and the Death Row Squad were attending the Bruce Seldon vs. Mike Tyson boxing match in Las Vegas. Hyped up from the testosterone and the energy of the fight, Pac wanted some action. The Death Row associate pointed out Orlando Anderson to Pac, who was a Southside Crip gang member, a rival to the Ivory Bloodset that was affiliated with Death Row Records. Pac went up to Orlando and punched him in the face. Then Death Row associate arrested a man called Dwayne PPD Davis, who was a shot caller for the group of individuals that committed this crime, and he orchestrated the plan that was carried out. Ironically, PPD has been confessing his involvement publicly on the internet for years. In 2008, he confessed that his nephew, Orlando Anderson, the man that Tupac punched earlier that night, was the one who actually pulled the trigger.
PPD is now identified as early left as the murder.
Bolstering PPD's claim.
That guy, motherfucker just keeps shooting at me.
Everyone was crazy and pushing around with me, and people were robbing chicks like crazy. And they came back to their love, and they were giving the chicks like people were shot. They just came and they took money out, and they did a cut. And then the night was all people were like the chicks that when the chick was out at the table. Oh yeah, like the table. Where'd you get it from? When I'm Vegas and I get the gun, and I get like, they'll give me 40 guns. They're like, okay, where'd you get it from? And I was like, okay, shut it.
In 2008,
I'm sure.
confessed that his nephew,
Number one.
Orlando Anderson, the man that Tupac punched earlier that night, was the one who actually pulled the trigger. PPD has been
Wait.
on the internet for years. In 2008, he confessed that his nephew, Orlando Anderson,
What the
the man
fuck?
that Tupac punched
He just died. Oh my god.
trigger.
PPD is now
That is incredible.
as the murder.
No way.
Bolstering PPD's claim was an informant in 1997 who told investigators that Puffy
It's been seconds and no kill
killed
helicopter
Tupac.
Rick
And
Haywood.
Cripp, who has jumped at the MGM,
Oh,
was in
no.
the group that had done the hit. This is exactly
Kinda
the
feel
case
bad for that,
PPD
but
brought up a decade later.
it's what it
He also
is.
stated that Puffy offered them $1 million to kill Suge and
You know,
Tupac.
5% from that, so take it.
When Diddy was asked about this confession, this was his response.
It was just documentary of claims, but you know what the truth is.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there with all.
Check. Was it a time of good legal defense to get to say, oh, that we have to say, oh, that's the motive and whatever. Is that a good legal defense, you think? Is that what people like for it or not?
We respect that. I appreciate you as a feminist act. Thank you.
As you can imagine, Death Row was likely seeking retaliation for the murder of
The murder,
Tupac.
but-
Everyone at Bad Boy Records knew they were not
Intent.
safe, but they were especially not safe in Southern California. An LA kingpin called Gene Deal, Diddy's bodyguard, and warned him that there was a hit placed.
Chat, even though we still do murder, motive, intent, all that, it does matter. Like, it plays a lot into sentencing. It's a big deal.
on Biggie in LA.
This somebody did 26 years in the federal jail as a kingpin, brother. He called me to save Biggs in life. Tell them niggas not to go nowhere. It's a hit on. You get this information from a kingpin, brother. Charles Wynn.
Just got 18 kills. Holy fuck. That's so sad.
Headed out to Los Angeles to promote Biggie's new album, Life After Death. Puffy also wanted to...
Why was he rushing players in Storm though? It's so stupid.
Biggie's best friend, Del Big, wanted to be in LA.
You say go.
No
go.
wonder he
You
lost.
stay. We stay. Big wanted to stay. I always tell people that. Why everybody else go why?
Like, why is he rushing in Storm here? The fuck?
He's the boss.
So stupid.
We're here because of him. And if he feel like it's no
Oh
he wants to be
man, I feel like he panicked there.
it's our job to stand down.
Biggie was not taunting the West Coast. He genuinely loved being in LA. He received a lot of love from fans, promoters, radio DJs, despite being surrounded by his enemies. In